Imagine Apple launching a brand new iPhone in 2025, and the most surprising thing about it is how unexciting it looks. That's the story with the upcoming iPhone 17e. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. A phone that was supposed to carry forward the spirit of the old SE series, but instead might be on track to become Apple's most underwhelming release in years. Not because it's bad on paper, but because it barely moves forward at all. The shock isn't that the phone exists, it's that it doesn't seem to offer much that makes you want it. The SE line used to mean something, a small, affordable gateway into the Apple ecosystem, fast chip, classic design, and a price that made people say, yeah, I'll take that. It was the budget iPhone that didn't feel like a budget compromise. When Apple rebranded that series as the new E line last year, excitement was high. The iPhone 16e replaced the aging SE, marking a fresh start. But somewhere along the way, the formula changed, and not for the better. The iPhone 16e launched at $599, technically still the cheapest iPhone you could buy new, sure, but suddenly the price was way too close to the regular iPhone 16, close enough that you had to ask why you'd choose the cheaper one at all, especially when you could spend the same amount and grab a Pixel 10 or Samsung S25 FE, both far more complete phones for the money. That's where the trouble started. Because the 16e didn't just cost more, it gave you less. A display lifted straight from the iPhone 14, 60 Hz, dim by modern standards, and not exactly exciting when even $200 phones now come with smooth 120 Hz panels. One camera on the back, an underpowered GPU with one core disabled, and Apple's own in-house modem that tested worse than the Qualcomm chip used in previous models. It wasn't a terrible phone, but it wasn't a compelling one. It didn't know who it was for. And now, with the iPhone 17e on the horizon, it looks like history might repeat itself. Rumors from reliable voices, the kinds of names you don't bet against, say Apple is sticking with that same iPhone 14 era display, same 60 Hz, same brightness, same notch, in 2025. That's not a spec sheet, that's a time capsule. Meanwhile, the standard iPhone 17 just got one of the biggest upgrades in years, a 120 Hz Pro Motion display, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera borrowed from the Pro lineup, a refreshed aluminum design, and performance that feels premium without the Pro name attached. And Apple did all of that while keeping the price at $799. Suddenly, the $200 price gap between the regular iPhone and the entry-level one feels massive. For just a little more, you don't just get a better phone, you get a much better phone. Faster screen, better camera system, a device that feels future-ready. And that leaves the 17e sitting in an awkward spot. Not cheap enough to be the budget hero, not advanced enough to feel modern, just there. To be fair, the 17e isn't without strengths. It's still expected to pack the same A19 chipset as the iPhone 17, which means performance should be incredible for the price. And for someone who just wants the simplest, cheapest path into iOS, no extra camera, no fancy features, just an iPhone, it might still fit. We also don't know everything yet. Apple could have surprises planned, small improvements that don't show up on rumor sheets. But right now, the phone looks more like a compromise than a contender. And that's what makes this disappointing. Apple knows how to build compelling entry-level devices. They did it for years. But as it stands, the iPhone 17e feels like a device designed for a customer that doesn't exist. Too expensive for budget-focused buyers, too limited for tech-savvy ones. A phone that launches not with excitement, but with doubt. Maybe the story changes when the full spec sheet arrives. Maybe people love it anyway for its simplicity. But if the rumors are right, and Apple really ships a $599 smartphone in 2025 with a 60 Hz display and one camera, the reaction won't be surprise, it'll be disappointment. And not the kind that comes from high expectations, but from a sense that Apple could have done so much more. The iPhone 17e could have been another gateway. Instead, it might just be a reminder of what the SE used to be. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.